Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today we have the Alpha Drive AI panel. And Ted, lots of exciting conversations with Alpha Drive today.
Alpha Drive AI is driving the conversation. Before we get started, I would like the folks up here to introduce themselves, starting with my good friend Damon Egan here.
I am Damon Egan, Service Director at Sherwood Ford in Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada.
I'm Nick Lawrenson, CEO of Alpha Drive.
Andrew Lee, Vice President of Sales at Alpha Drive.
All right. Well, Nick and Andrew, I don't know how you did it, but you got Damon involved with Alpha Drive AI. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Damon is one of the biggest names in the industry. Before we come to him, Nick, give us an overview, what's happening in Alpha Drive AI and what you see ahead for 2026.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ted. So Alpha Drive AI for 2026, our main focus is really growing Alpha Drive AI in the industry. What we're seeing is massive adoption in the industry. We're seeing dealers go from the traditional BDC model over to an AI BDC model, and it's been very, very successful. Our focus, keeping the appointment conversion rate as high as possible, keeping the first call resolution as high as possible. So the AI is doing the job, not always requiring a human to intervene.
Andrew, is this all true?
Yes. and I would only echo that because Nick has been doing it with live call center agents for 30 years, and he holds us to the same standards that he did to the live call center agents. So it's been a perfect marriage for us.
Damon, tell us how you all got together with Sherwood Ford.
Well, we got in contact with Alpha Drive about a year and a bit ago. We found that they had the best language model in the business for getting appointments and actually speaking to customers in a proper tone. That was a big thing, is with any time with AI, there's always that lag. And we found it to be very natural conversation. It took a little bit of time to get it really to where we wanted, but the team at Alpha Drive was so good in helping us with resolution. And we saw a 25% spike in appointments.
And Damon, you don't get behind just anything. You and I have known each other for a number of years. This is really industry-leading technology that Alpha Drive has.
We were the first in Canada to bring it to life, and we have been so happy with it. I will trumpet from the mountains for these guys.
Nick, I want to come back to what Damon just talked about with the language model, because our listeners today, there's a lot of conversations around AI, but specifically that piece of it. Why is that so important in the AI conversations that your system is having?
Yeah, so first of all, the large language model, we're not going to out Google. We're relying on large language model technology to carry the conversation. And then what we do is we cascade over multiple large language models, and we have a system built out where it stores all the dealership's information to feed into the AI. So the end result is an AI that sounds human, acts human, very minimal latency, can answer all the questions about a dealership, knows all the shop loading rules. And so that's why it's so important to have that.
And Damon, to take the conversation back into BDC, a lot of customers, that first impression of who they're talking to on the phone really sets the tone. This could be the first interaction that they're having with your business. So how important has this been in the conversation?
Oh, it was a very big concern at the beginning, and Andrew and I had a number of conversations about what it was going to look like and how it was going to be. And we found that there was a lot of early adoption from our customers about this. We found that, they really took to it. It handled flawlessly any questions. And when there was a concern, it automatically would just transfer to a BDC agent, and it allowed them to do their job better than if they were just stockpiling phone call after phone call. They could actually take the time and handle the phone call properly. And we've seen such a huge rise, not only in appointments, but also in revenue.
And Andrew, what he's describing with these pieces, early in the conversation, I'm sure a lot of dealerships voice some concerns with, abandon rate, different elements that are getting them started in the conversation. What pieces are really important for dealerships to be considering as they implement Alpha Drive AI?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. So the biggest thing is that for dealers, work with a company that really understands BDC work, right? Because at the end of the day, our only job is to convert an appointment for you or to handle that question of the customer and drive them into your service drive, right? So if that's not happening in these conversations, there's an error somewhere. There's a gap somewhere. And I really love our relationship with Damon because we were meeting weekly in the beginning, and he brought up his concerns, we brought up our expertise, and we meshed it together to create the formula that is absolutely phenomenal for his team today. But it doesn't come out of the box. It's extreme customization. Any AI solution you get, if it's coming out of the box and you're not getting support, I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably not the right one for you, because you got to work with people that know how to do the work and that's willing to support the AI.
On that note, Nick, I want to come back to you. You and I recently had a conversation with Ed Roberts, good friend of yours, and Tully Williams, and you told us about customizing and tailoring the AI to the dealerships, and that's a big part of what Alpha Drive AI does. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So the objective of AI is to schedule appointments. Dealers are going to have specialized policies for things like express and main shop, recalls, transportation options. And as an AI company, we're willing to customize all of those things to keep the appointment conversion as high as possible, not relying on having to transfer to get those appointments scheduled. So we allow them to customize how they want us to handle express, customize how they want to handle recall. And that's what makes our product special.
Damon, you want to chime in on that?
Absolutely. And I get to tell you from personal experience, the customization that we have with Alpha Drive is absolutely insane. I mean, we do 500 to 600 pickup and drop off valleys a month. Plus we have a mobile service. Plus we have a fleet service. Plus we have a retail service. And Alpha Drive's system works flawlessly for all of them. I mean, that's a huge benefit because now we've got such a huge uptake. The amount of the appointment, the complexity and the completeness of it, unmatched.
Andrew, you got a great spokesperson right here with Damon Egan. I'm just phenomenal at Sherwood Ford. And he has made a lot of things work there in his marketplace. And when he gets behind it, he gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, definitely. And I know we've had to earn that relationship with you because he's not easy out the box. I mean, as he should be. You know, those are his customers. That's their revenue. He had the number one. He said, we can't hurt the customer experience. And we had the same goals in mind. And that's how we got to where we're at today with this product. And the other beautiful thing is he didn't even have to replace his BDC. What he did was he freed them up to do quality work. And now they're making more money for your dealership, correct?
Absolutely. We saw a huge rise in what our BDC team does. In fact, last month we had one BDC agent actually accumulate $140,000 in appointment revenue. That's huge dollars for one BDC agent. And that's because her time is freed up now because we have a phone system that actually works.
All right. Well, Nick, these gentlemen do all the talking and selling, and they make it easy. You can see
They do.
already.
They do. Damon's recommendations and referrals have been just amazing. We work with over 30 Canadian dealers now, and most of those referrals are direct referrals from Damon.
All right. If our audience wants to learn more, Nick, about Alpha Drive AI, because you are now the leader, in this category, what's the best way for the audience to reach out and find out more?
Absolutely. Just go to www.alphadriveai.com. There you'll have an opportunity to schedule a demo with one of our sales associates, and we'll take good care of you.
Andrew, Nick, Damon, thank you so much for your time today. Sarah, it's been amazing to learn about Alpha Drive AI.
It has, Ted, and I'm excited to hear more as we go ahead into 2026.
That's right. Thank you. Sarah and I are here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and we are going to be right back.